The Terrifier 3 4K Blu-ray is finally out, and today we're going to take a look at it. Specifically this Steelbook release that I picked up at Walmart. We're going to take a look at some actual footage from this, talk about some of the common criticisms of this I've seen online already, and we're going to get into some of the special features on this thing. Welcome back to the Ecto-Violence channel. My name is Alec. Today we're talking Terrifier 3, this 4K Steelbook from Walmart. Now, and I went and picked this up yesterday. I was stoked. I didn't get to go get it on Tuesday. I was just busy, had things going on. But let's take a look already. Let's open it up. I do really like the artwork there on the front. Pretty fun. And on the back. It's not very Christmassy, I'll give it that. Could be a little more Christmassy, but hey, it's fine. When you open her up, and there is a little Screambox ad, you have that awesome picture of Art the Clown in there, as well as the two discs, the Blu-ray and the 4K Blu-ray. Now here's something to consider before we take a look at this stuff, is that I'm actually going to be showing you images captured from my TV, which is a 4K TV. But we're going to be looking at the Blu-ray, not the 4K Blu-ray, because I don't have a 4K player yet. So without further ado, let's take a look. This is what some of these are looking like. So again, keep in mind this is captured. I did use a 4K camera setting to capture all this stuff, but you know, I think it looks pretty great, honestly. I like how the Christmas lights look in this stuff specifically, like the reds and the greens and the lights there. It all looks just the way you want it to. And this is lit and filmed a very particular way with a very particular style. Look at that though, that shot. That's incredible. That's amazing. And I love this. Look at this. If you're just going by frame here, you can barely see his face here in these first couple. Oh man, that's spooky. Again, we look at this one. If we're looking at this scene, again, these colors look really good, to be honest. And we're just, again, talking about the Blu-ray that's included in here. And I'm sure that they shot this movie on 4K and stuff. Digital 4K. But it's just compressed there to the 1080 format, obviously. So there's the thing. I've seen people saying that Terrifier movies don't need to be on 4K. That their aesthetic doesn't really lend itself to 4K enough to justify it actually being on 4K. And I don't know if I entirely agree on that. I mean, I went and got the 4K release, and I don't have a 4K player yet, but I've just started recently buying those. We have access to the 4K TV. It's on my Christmas list this year, you know what I'm saying? So let's take a look at another clip here. Like, honestly, especially, I feel like for the way I captured this looks great, looking back on it. I mean, I literally just filmed my TV, which is something that people do. I mean, look at that, though. Like, that looks good, I think. More back to this criticism. This guy was basically saying, I'm not going to name names or anything, because I actually like his channel, and it's just like, I don't even know if I entirely disagree with some of the points he was making or anything, you know. I'm not out to get the guy or anything by talking about this, but essentially, this stuff should just be watched on DVD or VHS because the way it's shot lends itself to those formats better. I think, speaking as someone who bought the Terrifier 2 VHS from Walmart, you know, I would say that yeah, it looks a little better on VHS, I think, these movies. They're really good on VHS. Like, I honestly really hope to get a release of Terrifier 3 on VHS as well. Now look at this. You can tell some of this, the way it's colored, is maybe just because I'm filming my TV a little bit, and I'm not using like a real good 4K camera. I mean, I'm using a 4K camera, don't get me wrong, but you know, you can tell this saturates a little bit different, so full disclaimer on that, but look how clear perfect that looks for what it is for, you know, a Blu-ray. And by the way, this is one of my favorite scenes in this movie. So great. We got Clint Howard in a Terrifier movie. It's just perfect. And this guy, Daniel Roebuck, you know, I don't know if you know this, but that's the guy from River's Edge. River's Edge, one of my favorite movies from the late 80s, early 90s. Late 80s, I want to say. It's 87, 88. But it stars him, Keanu Reeves, Crispin Glover, Ione Skye's in that. Good movie. Check it out if you haven't. Okay, again, look at this imagery here. I love the classic imagery that's in this movie that just looks like an 80s and 90s Christmas that we're all nostalgic for. Look at the colors on here. It's almost even reminiscent of the 70s. It encapsulates 70s, 80s, and 90s just like vintage Christmas. But it doesn't take place in any of those time periods, so very fun. Again, I think this is one of those movies that goes back and forth. It could be great on VHS, and again, I think horror is one of those genres that really lends itself to 4K. Like for me, I'm buying my favorite movies on 4K, movies that I will want to watch on 4K, stuff like Ghostbusters, Back to the Future, The Lost Boys, The Thing, Terminator, Nightmare on Elm Street. Aside from some of that stuff actually being horror, I think sci-fi and horror are like my go-to genres for 4K. Like, there'll be some stuff outside of that, but those two genres are the genres that I'm like, I want that stuff on 4K, you know? I think that's what it's made for me. So that's kind of how the movie looks, you know, if we just briefly looked at some of the clips and stuff. Let's talk about some of the special features. So there is a full making of, behind the scenes, like a featurette, which is really cool. We're not going to actually watch it. I'm just going to kind of skim through it because I don't want to, you know, give that away or anything. But, you know, this stuff's really cool to see. It's just like, hey, we're heading to set. Here we are. We're doing stuff. It's Damien Leone there. It's really fun to see, especially if you're somebody who's worked on movies and stuff like that, or if you have an interest in this stuff. And people who are usually into horror are they're usually cinephiles too, you know what I mean? There's a lot of crossover there. Like, look at that. You do need to do this. This is necessary in a Terrifier movie. You know, specifically this movie, I can't imagine what the set must have been like to be on. And just seeing stuff like this is, you get to wondering, and just seems like the funnest time on earth. So there's a lot of the makeup application, stuff like that. You know, I didn't record the whole thing or anything. I just recorded some clips to show you guys, because, like, look at that. Is that just like, that looks like a fucking album cover right there, bro. So as we move through more of this, you know, just seeing some of the lighting setups they're using and stuff. Like, it's amazing. Like, their budget went up a lot. Those cups in this movie, do you remember those? I remember watching them in the theater and just being like, oh, my eye's drawn to those. So you look at stuff like this and, like, look at the details in this set. The angels and everything here, the Christmas decor. Like, whatever the hell this is, but that's a reindeer, clearly. The body back here with the Christmas lights, like, it's just cool to see, you know? I live for this kind of special features, so. So there is also a preview of a new documentary. It's called Art Attack or something. God, for the life of me, I can't remember the actual name of it, but the same guys that are behind the Pennywise It documentary that came out are essentially putting this out, so that's something that's cool to look forward to. Seems like they got a lot of interviews and stuff done too, so we know that that's coming, and apparently this is, you know, they're re-releasing this in theaters for Christmas and stuff, and I hear there's a 10-minute preview of this documentary. So, I gotta say, look forward to that. And the last special feature on here is actually called a eulogy log. So that's pretty cool. You know how they have those Yule logs that are like digital and stuff that you put on your TV. And this is kind of one of them. It was actually pretty long. I want to say it was maybe 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes. I kind of only skimmed through it, but basically it's this really Christmas scene. Art comes in and starts going through this Christmas sack. Essentially, you know, starts doing all this this mildly entertaining stuff. Like, it'd be fun to just throw this on in the background if you're doing some stuff, but you know, I don't think people are going to be pulling out their Terrifier 3 disc to be like, I gotta have the eulogy log, you know. If you watch this around Christmas time, like one is probably going to do, then you might be inclined to see, you know, throw this on in the background afterwards. Yeah, he pulls all sorts of stuff out of there and starts going through. Look at him there with the elf on the shelf. I mean, it's just fun extra content that they didn't have to give us, you know what I mean? Nothing crazy, but fun nonetheless. And that's going to about do it for, you know, my thoughts on the Terrifier 3 4K. Again, we were looking at the Blu-ray from this set, so that's something to take into consideration. But overall, I think it looked great. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. And if you like this video, be sure to check out this one and hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching.